What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to DVDs, Nuts, and Popcorn. I'm your host, the PMM, the Physical Media Mac, and I am back with another video proving to you guys that physical media is still alive and well, and a very powerful thing, by the way, as I'm rocking the Blockbuster t-shirt over here. Yes, physical media still makes the world go round, guys. Now, this is probably gonna be the first video in quite some time that I did not pick up anything out in the wild, guys. I picked up, I don't know, this is either Amazon or eBay. This is either Amazon or eBay. And everything else is gonna be from a website that I'm gonna shout out. I've talked about them, I think, numerous times on this channel. And I'm actually probably going to drop the link in this video into an email into one of the workers over at MVDshop.com. Or let me, I think that's what it's called. MVDshop.com. MVD Entertainment Group. And I'm going to ask him to start sending me screeners if possible. Because, you know, I deserve it. I'm shouting out their channel. Maybe we can get like some kind of code, DVDs, Nuts, and Popcorn code, where you guys can get discounts on movies. Am I living in a fantasy world? Quite possibly, but it's worth a try. It's worth a shot. But anyway, I picked up, they were running a sale, man. They run some really good sales, man. Shout out to them. Obviously, they're not sending me free shit, at least not yet. And I'm very impressed with their website. So impressed so that I purchased 13 movies, DVDs, and Blu-rays from them. And I literally was going to go back and buy at least 5-6 more Blu-rays, and the sale ran out. I waited too long. So I went fucking haywire ordering shit off their website. But the deals I just could not pass up on, and they were really cool movies. And got some really killer films that we can talk about. Not all of them I've seen, by the way, because again, 13 movies, I'm not going to be able to watch those in a week, so. But anyway, we're going to go over the prices that I paid, the discounts, and we're going to go over each one of these movies. Let's go into the movies that I got not off MVD's website here. This is going to be an Amazon Prime pickup, if I remember correctly. It might have been eBay. Or not Amazon Prime, Amazon pickup. I think it was eBay, though. And a really good film, man. I was impressed with this. I've been into my animal horror films of late, and dog horror, but this ended up being a lot more of a dog horror film to me. I mean, really poignant film with a deeper message than just dogs killing people. A White Dog from 1982, and in this movie, there's a young actress. Julie is her name, and she's played by Christy McNichol, which I don't know if I remember her. She has a very, like, very, not common face, but a very recognizable face. She almost reminds me of Princess Leia, Carrie Fisher. Real pretty girl, man. Beautiful woman. And anyway, she hits a stray dog, which happens to be a white German Shepherd, with her car, and takes that German Shepherd to the hospital, and to a veterinarian, or to emergency, I can't remember what it was, but they end up saving the dog. And I think she puts out an ad or whatever, because she wants to return the dog to its its owner, and no one ever claims the dog, so she decides to adopt the dog into her home. I think she's single. No, she has a boyfriend, but she lives by herself. So now it's just her and the dog. And they build this relationship together. You know, if you guys don't know, I have a German Shepherd, and they're not the most loyal dogs in the world. They're some of the most loyal companions in the world, even loyal to a fault. And we'll talk about this in this film. But this movie is about racism, and you know, it's not like dogs can't be racist. By the way, it is it's the people that train the dogs that are the racist, and they don't go too deeply into who trained the dog. You do meet the person later on in the movie, but whether he's part of the Ku Klux Klan or, you know, what group he's a part of, if he's part of a group at all, they don't really go into that, but he's definitely a racist person who trained this dog to kill black people. So, early on in the movie, was it a black person? I don't even remember, to be honest with you. But early on in the movie, there's a guy who breaks into their house, or breaks into her house, and while she's sleeping, and attempts to rape her, and the German Shepherd wakes up, and, you know, I don't believe he kills that person, but he mauls the shit out of the person, ends up jumping out the window when the guy escapes out of a second-story window, breaking the glass and going down and grabbing the guy and just, you know, chewing on him until the police arrive. And guy was very lucky that he didn't get killed. So that's like the first, like, but I mean, that's okay. The dog was just protecting her, you know what I mean? So, but then she's an actress, and I think she takes the dog on set and attacks one of the black actresses. And that's when they realize that something's wrong with the dog. I think there might have been another incident or whatever. But the actor Paul Winfield, I can't remember his name in the movie, who he plays, but he is an animal trainer, and I think he works for like movies, companies and stuff. He'll train like lions and monkeys and panthers and cheetahs and you name it, and dogs as well. And he's got a history. Like, there's this thing in the movie where they say, oh, this is a white dog. They don't mean the color. They mean that's like a saying in the dog communities where, you know, a dog was trained by racist people to kill, you know, black and brown people, and they call them the white dogs. And so he's had experience trying to train them before that, I guess, went miserably wrong. And so she brings the dog to him, and he takes on the challenge of trying to train this dog. And I won't go too much more into it. I don't want to give up too much. But again, very poignant, very sad, heart-wrenching film, man. I really enjoyed it. I can't remember if I told you guys it's from 1982. It's an early 80s film with Christy Nichols and Paul Winfield. White Dog. This was directed by Sam Fuller. And yeah, man, it's one of those movies that'll stay with you after you watch it for a while. Good shit. Now, this is the Japanese, I believe, version. But it doesn't matter because it has English language, and then it'll have Japanese subtitles, but you can remove the subtitles so you don't even see Japanese subtitles. So it's just like as good as buying an American version. Now, there is a, what is it called? What the hell is it called? I can't think of it now. Criterion version of this, but it costs like $40. The American release. So I was like, nah, screw that. I ended up getting this for like, I don't know what it was. Maybe 10 to 15 bucks max. I don't remember. But it was nothing like the Criterion price. All right, so that's it for that. Now, a lot of these movies in this box are what I would consider extreme films, guys. So just keep that in mind. The next movie that I'm going to show you guys and pretty much all of these movies, well, I wouldn't say all of them, but the majority of them are extreme cinema where, you know, some pretty nasty shit, man. Like, you can't just be the casual horror fan and, you know, oh, I love the movie The Conjuring. Well, a lot of these movies are not going to be for you because they're really over the top with the gore and the graphic nature. So just keep that in mind. This is no exception to the rule. I was doing some research on extreme films and watched a few YouTubers, and them talking about Unearthed films and Wildeye releasing and these boutique labels like that. That's where I got the idea to purchase a lot of these movies from, really solely from them. And I couldn't find this one that kept coming up on people's list on the MVD sale, I don't believe. So I ended up purchasing this separate off of eBay. And I remember this going for, some sellers are selling this for 20, 30 bucks, but I think I got like a really good deal on mine. I don't think I paid more than 12 bucks for it. But anyway, Hate Crime from 2012. I think the director of this movie is only like 21 years old. It's like a new, like, it was like his first big movie release here. But anyway, this is like, again, this is not going to be for everybody, guys. I mean, if you ever watched American History X, picture American History X, but with no, you know, turnaround. There's no good side to it. No, I've learned my lesson. No change of heart. No, you know, changing your life around. Just the worst parts of American History X, and multiply that times 10, and turn that into a home invasion film. And that's what it is. I mean, it's literally, I'll just read you the synopsis here. A Jewish family that just arrived in a new neighborhood are recording their youngest son's birthday celebrations on video when their home is suddenly invaded by a bunch of crystal meth crazed neo-Nazi lunatics. I mean, that's literally the synopsis of this film, guys. And it is just that. It's, you know, basically shaky cam, first person. Again, the family's doing home videos. They take over the home video camera, whether it's like a VHS-C camera or whatever, one of those old school cameras, and they're recording everything. The neo-Nazis take over that camera and record this this hate crime that occurs in the house. And you know, I'm not giving up too much of a spoiler because this happens very early on. The kids that they're celebrating the birthday is only like 10 to 12 years old. They literally shoot him in the head and kill him at the very beginning of the movie, and you're like, holy fuck, what is going on in this fucking movie? And the rest of the movie is them just raping and pillaging and torturing the rest of the family. And yeah, it's pretty brutal and unflinching, as Ain't It Cool News says on the back here. Not for the squeamish. Now, this is free on Tubi right now, guys, if you want to check it out. And so yeah, these guys are like sniffing crystal meth and shit. They're making one of the young kids do crystal meth, and they're raping the mom, and they're making the son, I think at one point they're making the son rape the mom, and it's just totally some fucked up fuckery going on in this movie. But you know, again, this is not going to be for everybody. There is kind of a twist to it, I guess you could say. Yeah, there's a twist to it. But there's no like laughable moments. There's no, it is all deeply depressing, hateful brutality. The whole film from A to Z. And yeah, check it out. I don't know. You know, what does it say here? Made me physically ill, and I can't wait to watch it again. One of the most realistic portrayals of pure fear and terror in modern day society. So what was I going to say earlier? This is a, you know, found footage type of film. All right, moving on. All right, now MVD. Let's get to the movies here that I got. Let's grab the box here. All right, let's go over the movies that I have not seen. So in the next video, we're going to talk about these movies. All right, first film here is a Wildeye release. So basically, I bought from 3 different boutique labels. Unearthed Films, Wildeye, and I'm lying to you. I bought from 2, yeah, just Wildeye and Unearthed Films, which release a lot of effed up shit, guys. And this is definitely no exception here. I've not seen this yet, so we'll be talking about this in the next video. It's called Stomach. It's supposed to have a lot of really cool body horror. And yeah, Wildeye, raw and extreme, unrated. And it says here, Alex lives alone and isolated in the countryside, and is also harboring a very dark, deep secret deep in the pit of his stomach. After he is bullied and tormented by some work colleagues, the hate-fueled monster growing inside him has no choice but to break free and help him take very bloody revenge on all who dare to attack him. So there's a review on the back that says, artificially gruesome shots. Or no, artfully gruesome shots. At times, I was reminded of John Carpenter's creature designs. Okay. So hopefully a little bit of John Carpenter and a little bit of, what's our boy that does all the great body horror? Why can't I think of his name right now? You know what's cool about these Wildeye releases, these DVD releases? You don't get this a lot with DVDs, but they do have the back art on them. I really like that. All right, so I look forward to watching that. We'll talk about this in the next video. I can't think of the director off the top of my head that does the great body horror. I don't know why. All right, so let's go over that. So Stomach. I got it here somewhere. Got all my tax paperwork here. I just got back from doing my taxes. I paid $4,000 in taxes last year, guys. This year, they paid me 50 bucks. Like Tupac said, I ain't mad at you. Did I just see somebody? Is there like a... I'm like in front of this like daycare, but it's closed today, and I almost felt like I saw an animal running back and forth inside the daycare. Hopefully it wasn't a white dog. I mean a black dog. Alright, bad joke. Alright, now. Okay, so this film right here, Stomach, just to give you an idea of the sales. So I'm going to promote them some more. Again, I want them to send me some free stuff, so we can review it, and I can motivate people to buy, to spend more money on MVD shop. All right. Let's see if we can find this film here. All right, so Stomach is regularly $14.95, and I paid $4.85 for it. So pretty badass. I'm liking it. Oh, shit. Ty Lord's at it. I see you streaming Resident Evil 4. Holy freak, man. All right, so that's the first film. Let's get to the next one that I have not seen yet. And then we'll talk about the movies that I've watched this week. Next one, this is another one that YouTubers talked about. It's Our Pleasure to Serve You, Main Street Meats. So I'm sure this is like a chef murderer film. And it says a struggling family-owned meat shop. Okay, a meat a meat market murderer type of guy, thing going on. A struggling family-owned meat shop on the verge of bankruptcy stumbles onto a secret of success. There's other movies like this. Like, I've seen other films like this. I can't remember the name of the film, but this is like, there's been a few movies like this. So, cooking up their customers. But when their new locally harvested meat becomes a sensation, the whole family has to join the hunt to keep up the insatiable customer demand as authorities try to solve the recent rash of missing persons from the community. All right, so we'll talk about this in the next film, or the next video, and this is a Wildeye release. Let's see what I got this for. Okay, $19.95 regularly. I paid $4.85. Again, man, some great deals. All right, we got a werewolf film right here that I wanted to see. I might even check this out tonight. Unrated director's cut of Bone Hill Road. Hunger shows no mercy. Now, from what I'm hearing, there's a lot of practical effects in this, practical horror, practical werewolves, and no CGI here, man. So I really like, I mean, again, I'm a huge fan of werewolf films, from American Werewolf in London to, the Howling, obviously, and then we have the Corey Haim film with Gary Busey. Why am I not thinking the name of it? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Corey Haim's in the wheelchair. And I can't think of the name of it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyway, 2017 film Bone Hill Road. Says 8 out of 10, a bloody, scary, hairy story that'll have you howling with delight. Stranded but not alone. Alright, so what is the name of that movie? That's going to bother me. Gary Busey, Corey Haim, werewolf film. I can't think of it. All right, yeah, this is, I've heard good things about this film, man. So excited about seeing it, There's only a handful of werewolf films that everyone talks about. And I'm hoping that this will be one of those that I can add to the old list. Bone Hill Road. It's not Cat's Eye. What the frick is the name of that movie? All right, this film right here was, if I can find it here. This is literally not on here. I don't know why. Oh, it must be on the next page. It's 2 pages. I bought so much shit. Oh, there it is. All right, so again, regular price $19.95. I got that for $4.85. Incredible deals, guys. All right, this is okay. Getting ahead of myself here. I don't want to talk about that yet. I want to talk about the movies that I've not seen. Let me just grab all of those now. All right, it's only 3 films here that I've not seen out of the rest of them. Now, this is the only one that just seems so ridiculously stupid that I'm surprised that I bought it. It's the one out of all of them that I might not like. But again, this YouTuber kind of pumped this up, so I said, what the hell? And I got a great price on it, so I figured it wouldn't hurt, it's not going to hurt anything to purchase it. I could always give it away to one of my buddies. The Velasa Pasture. Apparently this priest turns into a dinosaur somehow. And yeah, it seems pretty ridiculous, but another Wildeye releasing. And it says, evil is about to get Tyrannosaurus wrecked. After losing his parents, a priest travels to China to find meaning in life, but instead inherits a mysterious ability that allows him to turn into a dinosaur. At first horrified by this new power, a prostitute convinces him to use it to fight crime and ninjas. Holy shit, man. Oh, this might be fucking badass. Excuse my language. Holy crap. Every once in a while, something comes into your life that is so perfect, you have to take a step back and thank whatever forces move the universe for putting that thing in your path. Such is the case with the Velocipastor. Holy shit, man. I don't know. I don't know, guys. We'll have to see what's up with this. We'll talk about this in the next video. All right, that one was, again, $19.95, regular price $4.85. All right, me being a big fan of first-person shooters my whole life, basically, or ever since the, I don't know, the original, what system would that be when first-person shooters became huge in my life? It might not have been until the PS2, to be honest with you. All right, well, that's what this is called. First-person shooter, another Wildeye release. And I got the feeling this is a zombie film, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I don't know. It says, just imagine Duke Nukem meets Rec, or short for Record. Intense first-person horror movie, dark and bloody. There's hell on every level. Your pregnant wife, Linda, has been captured by a ruthless scientist whose mutated virus has infected an entire hospital facility. To rescue her, you have to fight through this old, rotten building, armed to the teeth, one level after another, right through the dark, decayed guts of 1,000 monsters. And you better move fast. You don't have much time, because at dawn, the whole site will be nuked. Grab your guns and get ready for the ultimate battle. I mean, this is like the ultimate video game horror film right here, guys. Again, we got the inner art. What's this guy look like on the cover? He's almost got like a hockey mask on. He's got the double shotgun, double barrel shotgun. There's the inner art. And it's probably about the same price, I would imagine. Yep, $4.85. This was a regular $18.95, and I got that for $4.85. I like the clear cases as well on the Wildeye stuff. All right, last movie that I've not seen. I think everyone's heard about the Forest of Lost Souls. I think that's where that idiot Logan Paul like went there and tried to make a joke out of it. There was like a dead person hung in the woods, and somehow he didn't get canceled in this cancel culture we live in. Now he's more famous than ever. But anyway, I thought this was like in China or some shit, but apparently it's like in, I think it's like in Portugal or something like that. This came out in 2017. It's free on Tubi if you want to check it out. By the way, Tubi, yeah, I'm always shouting out Tubi. Let me see here. Two strangers meet in the forest notorious for suicides and decide to learn about each other. Soon it becomes clear that one of them is there for much more of a disturbing reason, and is actually a psychotic killer there to prey upon others and end their sorrow for them. Okay, so the Forest of Lost Souls is where people go to commit suicide, and it's supposed to be one of the saddest places on earth. And if it's not sad enough, now there is a psychotic killer roaming the Forest of Lost Souls. Another clear case. Very unhappy with that. No inner artwork for some reason. Says one of the best horror movies of 2017. The saddest place in the world. and she is happy to be there. Art house horror of the finest caliber. Yeah, this is very art house from what I've read. I think the whole film is in black and white, so if that's not your thing, then don't check it out. Uses metric tons of doom and gloom. Dread Central. The sadness will last forever. Alright, got the feeling there's not too much comedy in that movie. Just getting that kind of feeling, you know what I mean? Alright, I said it before, I'm a big fan of clown movies. And this is another clown movie to put in that little top 10 of clown horror films, I think. And yeah, it says everyone loathes a clown. 100 Tears. This is an Unearthed film release that came out in 2017. By the way, if you don't like 2000 horror, 2010 and on, we're showing off a lot of good to really solid horror films from those years. So believe it or not, horror still lives in the 2000s. It's not like it's all crappy movies. Now, this is, by the way, this is free on Tubi right now, guys. You can check it out for free. And I never thought I would say this about a movie before. I'm not saying I don't like this film. It's a good film. But there are too many kills in this movie. Literally, I think there might be 50 kills in this movie. I'm not even exaggerating. There might be 75. And it gets to a point where it kind of takes away from the kills because there's too many kills. Like you can only see so much with a guy carrying what really amounts to this right here is like a massive, like it's like almost like a prop, but it's a real butcher. It has a real blade on it, but it's a butcher knife like 5 times the size of a normal butcher knife. Almost like he's carrying like a massive sledgehammer around, but a butcher knife size sledgehammer. And there's only so many times you can see him cut heads off, cut people in half, intestines falling out of stomachs. I mean, it's just so repetitive. Like it happens over and over and over and over to the point where they overdid it. There was too much of it going on that you get so used to seeing it, it takes from it. Does that make any sense? Because that's how I felt about this film. Now, I still like it. And for me, what kind of pushes it up into that probably top 10 clown films for me is not the killer clown himself, but someone, I gotta watch this again because it got, I was a little distracted when I was watching it for one reason or another. But it did what Terrifier 2 did. When it introduced the young lady, they have a young lady in this with pigtails, by the way, who is badass and really adds to this film. I think it's his daughter, like a daughter that was had from rape or something like that, or was born from rape. And she just adds to the film like tremendously. Really pushes it into that top 10 for me because of that. Without her in the film at all, just him killing 50 to 75 people, I would have had problems with it because, again, it was just overdone. It was just too redundant. But I really liked the chick in the film. The combination of her, the teamwork of them together made it one of the better clown movies ever made, I feel. So, yeah, 100 Tears. Available for the first time with never before seen gore and added extra footage. 100 Tears, the underground cult favorite, can be seen for the first time as the director intended. After being accused of crimes he did not commit, a lonely circus performer exacts his revenge on those who unjustly condemned him. The act sparks something inside him which he cannot stop, and now, years later, his inner demons have truly surfaced. Part urban legend, part tabloid sensationalism, he is now an unstoppable murderous juggernaut, fueled only by hate. Going to the circus will never be the same. And they never mention the younger girl in that whole synopsis, which I feel is weird because she plays an integral part in this film, guys. Again, we should have some inner art here. Oh, yeah, I actually like the inner art on here. I think this is like the new artwork, and the old artwork, oh, yeah, this is nice. I like this. We'll just flip this around. Extended director's cut. And this has got MVD all over it too. MVD visual. Unearthed Films MVD visual. So yeah, if you like clown horror films, you're going to like this one. All right, so this is a good, if you like ice cream horror films, everyone's seen The Ice Cream Man. I think there was like 2 Ice Cream Man films. And obviously, who else was there? Wasn't there like a serial killer that was an ice cream man? I was thinking of John Gacy, but no, he was a clown. Did he do ice cream on the side? I don't know. But anyway, so this is played by, this guy right here is a tremendous actor, by the way. Now, let me show you a close-up of his face. Now, in the film, his name is Warren, and he's played by the actor Glenn Maynard. And again, incredible performance in this film. I want to check out Glenn Maynard's other movies, man. I'll have to see what else he's done. Now, this came out in 2013. Warren is a total nerd, awkward, lonely ice cream truck driver. And, this guy's, has anxiety issues. He's got this huge cow lick of a haircut. He is an absolute geek of all geeks. I mean, this guy is a total loser, but a genuinely nice guy with a great heart. And, he's an ice cream guy. And he's got one spot in the neighborhood he sets up all the time. And all of a sudden there's this pimp drug dealer guy who's really kind of hilarious. He's probably in his 30s, maybe early 40s. He's balding, and he's wearing like these, we call them jumpsuits when I was coming up. Whether they're Nike or Adidas, you got the jacket, you got the pants. He's wearing those, so he's trying to be like street, and he's balding, and he's out there pimping women and selling drugs, and he's going over there and he's tormenting Warren. He's going over there getting ice cream from him. He's not paying. He's bullying him. And next thing you know, one of his women, streetwalkers or whatever, prostitutes, son goes up there and orders some ice cream from him and walks off, doesn't pay as well. And he ends up confronting them later on, the woman and the son, at the store. And then so later on, they tell the drug dealer guy, the pimp guy, about it. And now the pimp guy's beating him up, pouring shit on him. He's just really just tormenting the guy. He's bullying the fuck out of him. And so throughout that, the film, he starts like daydreaming. He's big into like this soap opera. This chick is beautiful. I don't know who she's played by, what the actress name is. Real beautiful chick, and she's like in the soap opera. And he has this, one of those portable TVs. He's always watching her episodes. He goes home, he jacks off to watching her on these episodes. And total pervert type of dude. And all of a sudden, she starts, I guess she's like recording close to where he's at. She starts coming up to his ice cream truck buying ice cream. So he's having these conversations with her. And she'll even come by and not buy ice cream just to have a conversation with him. And he's like, this is the greatest thing in the world. He's recording himself at home, making like a biography of this because he can't believe this is happening. and he's fallen in love with her in real life. And so it's basically his unraveling and him just going nuts as a person, and his mental decay, which occurs in this film. Without giving up too much more, I don't want to say much more about the movie, but whether he's daydreaming that she's talking to him or not, I won't say. There might be some stalking that ends up happening. There might be a confrontation between him and the pimp that might or might not happen. But yeah, I forgot that I saw this on a streaming service back in the day, and really cool film, man. I don't even think I've said the name. Chocolate Strawberry Vanilla. Wildeye Raw and Extreme release. And again with the inner art. Oh, what 100 Tears was, that was regularly $21.95, and I got that from $6.79 off of MVD. And then Chocolate Strawberry Vanilla, let me see, that was regularly $14.95. I got that for $4.85. So you're getting triple, even quadruple money off on these things sometimes. So I don't know, like, guys, when I go to like these Vinegar Syndrome websites and they throw sales, I feel like I'm only getting 10%, 20% off. These MVD sales are unbelievable, man. You're getting triple off of them, quadruple. I mean, you can't beat that shit. All right, now let's go to the 2 Blu-rays. You guys are thinking I just picked up DVDs. Now, again, I did go on the last day of the sale. At least I thought it was, but it had ended. And I was going to buy like 5 or 6 more Blu-rays. I was tempted. I think I talked about this in the past, of getting the Siberian Film movie, but because it was on Blu-ray for like 14 bucks. And I know I talked about this in the past. I don't want to see a guy with a baby, you know, but I know it's just art. It's just art. You can't take these movies seriously. And I think that baby situation was a message to the government of Germany or something. It's a deeper story than that. I don't know, man. I was tempted to buy it now that I'm getting into extreme films, but I didn't. So, but a film that I did get is on Blu-ray, What the Waters Left Behind. Now, this is a 2017 film. Now, what sold me on this, again, I wish I could shout out the YouTuber. I don't remember his name. It might have been a couple YouTubers, but for sure, one of these YouTubers mentioned that this is the Argentine Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I was absolutely sold. I bought it immediately. I added it to the cart. And I can see the comparison, man. Is it as good as Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Not even close. But I thought this was a good flick, man. I did enjoy it. Now, the interesting thing about this is based around a real natural disaster. I guess back in 1985, one day from my birthday, by the way, this town of Epicon, I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Let's just say it was in Argentina. One city in Argentina. I can't pronounce the name of it. The city. But it flooded. I'm talking about beyond Hurricane Harvey, guys. Not like we got it over here. I'm talking about it flooded where graves were turning, like dead bodies from graves were popping up from the ground. Like remember in Poltergeist in the pool? That was happening all over the city. It was one of the worst disasters in the history of disasters, I guess you could say. So that town flooded in 1985 and was deep underwater for 30 years, guys. When the waters receded, the town was still intact and stayed deserted. At least so they thought. A group of young filmmakers takes a trip to the ruins to film a documentary. Ignoring the warnings, they get stranded. One by one, they soon find that you don't have to go to Texas for a massacre. Very well said. So I know I was reading reviews about this and people were appalled that they took like a real life thing where so many people died and how a town was destroyed by waters and turned it into a horror film. But that's what they did. And these young people that went in there, which they weren't extremely dislikable. I kind of like the characters in it, which helped with the film. You're gonna have subtitles in this, obviously, but they run into some pretty gnarly, effed up, have sex with your sister, mixed breed, mutated Argentine rednecks, I guess you'd say. I don't know, but yeah, man, it's a pretty good film, man. I enjoyed it. What else do I got to say about this? I think that's it. Unfortunately, no inner artwork there. Unearthed Films needs to work on that, man. As much as people like that, man, Unearthed Films has to do better than that. Not easily forgotten, What the Waters Left Behind brings an Argentinian flavor to the slasher genre, which will satisfy many horror fans' bloodlust. Oh, and by the way, just like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, this family of effed up people and half-breeds and mutants are actually cannibals. And they actually own a gas station. Like, it's very Texas Chainsaw Massacre-like. I'm trying to remember. Did they use a chainsaw? I'm sure they probably used a chainsaw at one point in this movie. But this guy's like, might have been using a skill saw at one point. They're chopping up bodies and stuff and making a mean cuisine for the family to sit down and have. And the same thing, they got the people that didn't die are sitting at the table. All copycat Texas Chainsaw Massacre stuff. It was well done, though. I liked it. I enjoyed it. All right, where are we at here? 47 minutes. We got to get this under an hour. Oh, God. Am I going to forget the name of the movie? What's the other name of the movie that he did? I'm going to forget it. Let me pause. I don't want to forget that. Oh, I know what it is. Okay. All right. So in the extreme horror movie community, Ryan Nicholson is, mostly everybody's a big fan of his films. Unfortunately, Ryan Nicholson, I didn't look this up, but I believe he died in his 40s. And I believe it was a brain tumor. So we lost this guy way too early. When he first came onto my radar, it was a film I watched on a streaming service. It probably was Amazon Prime. And it was a movie called Gutter Balls. And I've tried to let people know about this movie over the last few years. And I think a few people that I've told have definitely watched it. But Gutter Balls is a really cool film. And it's basically a horror film set in a bowling alley with a deranged killer killing people in a bowling alley. So I really enjoyed that film. That's the movie I think he's most known for. That was probably the widest reaching release that he had. And so that's where I knew of him from. So after watching that, I have been kind of over the years wanting to watch more stuff. I watched another movie of his on a streaming service called Live Feed that I really enjoyed. And I think between Gutter Balls and Live Feed, that was pretty much it. So he's got about 5 or 6 other movies that I want to see. And this is one of them, Torched. Now, this came out in 2004. This is only a 47-minute movie, guys. So, and, which I'm kind of funny on, like, if a movie is not an hour, I don't even consider it a movie. This should be probably a part of an anthology, but this is still a really cool release. And this is the first movie that he was known for making. Like, I don't think there was anything like big not big budget. This is like made for $4,000, but like as far as like a big release for him, this is like his I don't know how to put it into words. This is like it's not a major motion picture. I'm not trying to say that. It's his first. This is basically his first film that he made that got any kind of notoriety. Let me just put it to you that way, since I can't verbalize it any better. Now, okay, this is a rape revenge film in its essence. Now, this was rewritten, but the original story by Ryan Nicholson was, they still used some of it, but in the original story, and we'll talk about what was the new story, but in the original story, it was a nurse that got raped. That's the same as the story that was rewritten, but it's all kind of based at that hospital, and there is a burn victim that, you know, 100% of his body was burned, like 3rd-degree burns or whatever. So somehow during the course of the movie, this nurse is like taking care of this guy, and he gets surgery where they do this grafting where they heal the burns somehow, and it's a miraculous surgery where they repair the skin, and he comes out looking so much better than when he went into the hospital with the 3rd-degree burns. Somehow during the course of this film, through blood samples, I think, the nurse finds out that this guy is the one that raped her coincidentally. So she ends up, after he's completely healed, or not completely healed, but you know what I mean, like after the surgery and he's better now, she sets him on fire again, and that was the original story. So in this story, it's based on that same nurse, but she gets raped in an apartment building. And by the way, in an elevator at an apartment building, and the actual location for this movie was done. So I ended up watching, after I watched the film, because it was so short, I watched the movie with the commentary as well, with Ryan Nicholson talking about the film. So I did learn some stuff. A lot of this movie was shot in a very seedy downtown area in Vancouver. So literally, like the elevator that she was raped in the beginning of the movie, like that opened up to an alleyway where there were like condoms on the floor and hypodermic needles and prostitutes and pimps and homeless people. Like, it was a really bad area. And that elevator that they were in smelled like urine. And the girl, the main lady, the main actress in this film, and the rapist did not even want to do that scene in the elevator because it smelled like piss, and it was like right close to that alley, and it was like, so it was cool learning about that, how realistic that was. And so what else? So she ends up getting raped, right? And because she's a nurse, she goes back to, well, she gets raped in the elevator. The guy bails. She goes up to her apartment, before she takes a shower, because she knows how to do this, she gets a Q-tip and, gets the DNA from a private area and stuff and puts it in a Ziploc bag. So now she has this, right? Now, I don't think she tells anybody about it. She goes back to work and tries to act like things are normal. And she's got this friend at work that she talks to that works there doing the clerical shit. And then the doctor that she works for really likes her and stuff. So there's something going on between them. And then she meets this guy in the apartment building because I guess she had just moved in there. So they end up having a relationship. But she goes back home and she's she doesn't know. She thinks it's the same guy, and maybe it is the same guy. I don't want to give up too much. But let's just say he comes back and he rapes her, tries to rape her again. But this time she's ready for him. So, again, without spoiling too much, she captures him, and because she has the know-it-all with medicines and stuff like that, and she ends up giving him like the shot like that paralyzes him. She zip ties his arms and shit. So now she's got him held captive. But then in the movie, she goes back to work. She's, you know, having conversations with the doctor. She goes out on a date here and there. She's banging the neighbor. And, you know, all this stuff happens. And then she'll go, you know, whenever she's done with her work and her personal life, she'll go back home and she'll torture the guy some more. It's called Torched, and yes, they do bring out the blowtorch, and Ryan Nicholson is famous for using a blowtorch in films. And yeah, they have a prosthetic penis in this film that looks like a real penis with the nutsack and the whole 9 yards. And she starts off blowtorching his arms and backs and stuff, and it looks really realistic, guys. I mean, it's tough to watch. And then all of a sudden, she pulls out the penis and starts torching this guy's balls. And if that doesn't get you, man, all of a sudden she pulls out this huge bobby pin. Remember those, the huge bobby pins, and sticks a bobby pin down the guy's penis hole. Oh God, it's brutal. And then she starts blowtorching the head of his penis. I mean, that's basically what this movie's most known for, I think, is those scenes. And what else, man? There's a scene in the movie where she's like throwing hypodermic needles at his chest, and they're sticking in him. And I learned from watching the commentary track is that the guy that was doing that was actually what's it called? You know, where you have a blood sugar problem or whatever. And so he's so used to needles and stuff that was actually real. They were really doing that shit. And then they were using a lot in the film, excuse me, one of those stun guns that stuns with like 20,000 volts. And they're like really using it. Like, you would not see that in films today. Even Ryan Nicholson was talking about that. They were really crossing a line and like walking like a very thin rope as far as like, you know, legal matters and getting sued and people getting injured and stuff. There's also a cool little tidbit in there about, I don't want to give too much more away because I've given a lot away, but you can watch this film. It's 47 minutes. I mean, I'm not spoiling anything. If you watch it, I think you'll, if you're into like extreme shit like this, I think you'll enjoy it and you'll get more out of it. I'm not giving you any kind of twist or anything. But anyway, there's a skill saw, you know, the brand skill saw, actual like reciprocating saw on a table in her, I guess, well, they become boyfriend and girlfriend at one time. And she ends up using this skill saw, let's just say, in a bloody scene. But it says Ryan Nicholson was worried about copyright, so they covered the S with a tape, so it turned it into kill saw. So I always thought that was cool because he was worried about copyright, but kill saw sounds so much cooler than skill saw. And now I'm wondering in my head if there's a movie called Kill Saw. I have to own it, even if it's a bad movie. I love great names like that. Anyway, I've talked enough about this, and yeah, this is not going to be under an hour now. I totally screwed up. Again, very unhappy with Unearthed. Unearthed needs to step their game up and put inner artwork. All right, I'll try to breeze through these. All right, if you're a fan of The Exorcist, this is a movie that you got to see. This is one of the better Exorcist films to come out in a long time. The Son of Solomon. This is released in 2017. And this is also Unearthed Films. By the way, these Blu-rays, I need to talk about the pricing on these Blu-rays, even though we're running long. Who cares, right? Okay, Torch, the Ryan Nicholson film. Now check this out. This movie is regular priced at $29.95. You can even go on eBay. You'll see it's an expensive Blu-ray. I got that for $5.82. Amazing deal. What the Waters Left Behind. That's regular price at $29.95. I got that for $6.79. Okay, Son of Solomon. or the Song of Solomon. Okay, so this is part, by the way, this is part of the American Guinea Pig series, which is a series of like, I think it's like 4 or 5 films that are extreme from the Unearthed film collection. Now, I watched one of the other ones on a streaming service the other day called Sacrifice, which was really brutally hard to watch, man. It was a lot of self-mutilation and torture, and I'm probably going to get a physical release of that, man. It was one of those movies that'll definitely stick with you. Now, basically in this movie, a Catholic priest, plural, with an S, tried to save a woman from the ravages of demonic possession before the Antichrist can be born within her. Yes, guys, this is all about the Antichrist. Satan, the rebirth of Satan, I guess. Wouldn't that be the Antichrist? The rebirth of Satan being born from this possessed woman. And there's like this high priest, or I don't know what you call it in the Catholic religion. He's like the highest of order when it comes to priests, who goes to like, he starts with like one priest in the beginning, and no one wants to do it for whatever their reasons are. They have different reasons, but he talks them into going and visiting this girl to see if they can exorcise this demon inside of her. And one after another, they fail. Let me just put it to you that way. And he gets to this one priest, and there's an interesting conversation that which I really enjoyed, the conundrum of the whole thing. And you know, we can think about this in real life, how, you know how they talk about the end of the world, where Jesus is supposed to come back and walk the land, and all the sinners are supposed to go to hell, kind of like an apocalypse, right? Or it would be considered like an apocalypse. And Jesus will take all the, the people who have repented and taken, the people who have repented and live by the Lord to the heavens, right? So the priest in this film, which I think he had some, I think he wasn't even a priest anymore. He had given up the priesthood. So he's got a life. He's got the lack of better words, the God on one shoulder and the devil on the other. He's got his issues where he's in and out of the grace of God. And he looks at this high priest, or whatever he's called, and you know, the high priest is talking about how this is the end of the world that is at stake here, when God is going to come back. And the former priest looks at him and says, "You want God to come back, don't you?" And it's a very a deep question, because it's like, if you've repented and you live your life, you know, righteously, right, and you don't think you're going to hell, well, you might not care if the world ends, right? And so I just found that kind of a cool question to ask. But in the opposite, if you're a sinner and you have not, you know, you're like, you don't want the world to end. You don't want, you know, you might even have love for God, but you're like, you don't want the world to end. You know, it's like, you know, you're still young, you're still living your life. You don't want that to happen. That's a scary thing to happen. So I think it's kind of cool how they asked that that in the movie. And which plays a big part, like in the end of the movie, you'll see, because there's a twist to the film. But I don't want to give up too much about this movie. It's definitely, it has a lot of influence from The Exorcist. You're going to see a lot of the, you know, typical regular Exorcist type of shit. But the practical gore and the practical effects of this movie, and a lot of these Unearthed films, these Wildeye movies, are done so well. I mean, that's a big plus when it comes to these type of boutique labels, man. It says, when the song is finally sung, Lucifer will be unleashed. Unleashed. I don't know why I can't say that word. The Song of Solomon has the ability to hit horror-loving viewers. Where It Hurts, which is in the heart and the soul. In this critic's opinion, better than The Exorcist. No, it's not better than The Exorcist, but I thought it was pretty good, man. A good Exorcist film. No extras there, unfortunately. And The Song of Solomon was regularly $21.95. I bought that for $7.76. That was the more expensive for some reason out of the lot. The most I paid for one movie. All right, now just two more movies here. Now this is another Ryan Nicholson film, Famine. This came out in 2011. This one really didn't hit the mark for me. Again, I really liked the bowling alley film, and I thought Torch was really good, but Famine, it was okay. Some people are going to like it if you like a lot of comedy in your horror films. Me, I feel like it's too much comedy. I've mentioned this 1,000 times. I like more horror than comedy. It's a fine line you have to walk to get that perfect combination. Only a few movies have pulled it off, in my opinion, and there's just too much comedy in this film. Also, which is kind of strange because Ryan Nicholson films, usually those practical effects pretty much hit their mark. For me, not all the effects in this film landed. There were some that looked kind of strange and awkward and just did not come off well. If you've watched Gutterballs, you know that has the cast of the most unlikable characters you'll ever see in a movie, but yet the movie's still good, which is, again, another fine line to walk. It's not easy to make a movie that you like, that you hate everybody in the movie. That is tough to do. This movie, you hate pretty much everybody in the fucking movie again. So he's very good at doing that. But I don't know, man. There's some really hot ladies in this film. And don't get me wrong, there is some cool effects. All his movies have cool effects, but some of it hit, some of it missed. And I almost feel like there might have been some CGI, which is kind of weird for his films. But I think it was mostly practical. But to make it a long story short, a gym teacher from maybe just a couple years back had a freak accident where he died. Some acid was poured on his head. And so now they get together every year for a famine in the gymnasium where they don't eat for 24 hours in his honor. During this, the mascot of the school starts killing everybody, and that's the film. "20 students, 20 hours, 20 horrible ways to die." Famine. Not bad. Some of you guys will like this, man. I'm sure. All right, last film, and I'll let you guys go. I have to actually leave here. I got to do some grocery shopping, and then I'm going to go home. Currently on my other channel, which I don't see a lot, any of you guys from this channel come over there, but I don't think I promoted it very much. I am doing a playthrough of the original The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I'm about halfway through. I'm just entering the Forest Temple, if you guys have ever played that game. But if you want to check out me do live streams of that game and other games, I do have another channel. It is called, try not to mess this up, my old channel was Non-Essential Gaming. The new channel is Physical Media Mac Gaming. Physical Media Mac Gaming. And I will leave a... somewhere in the video, I'll leave a link to it or whatever, or check the description. It shouldn't be hard to find, Physical Media Mac Gaming. Anyway, last film here. I think the reason I was mentioning that is because I need to go play that Forest Temple today. All right. This might be the most sick and twisted film of all the movies, so I guess that's why I saved this for last. Cat Sick Blues from 2015. I think this was directed by a female. Females are some twisted people, man. Females direct some of the most effed up movies, believe it or not. Okay, so I thought this was interesting, the write-up back here by one reviewer. Oh, that's who I was thinking of, Body Horror. No, maybe not. Is it Lynch? No, not Lynch. That's Blue Velvet. Okay, think Lynch. Think Kubrick. Think Mickey, M-I-I-K-E. And think D here. Throw in some Mr. I don't know who these people are. Oizo? Buttergreat? And a clash of Tom Six, and you will start appreciating the wonder that is Cat Sick Blues. Okay, a lot of those guys I don't know. Takashi Miike is the one. Okay, so David Lynch, Stanley Kubrick, Takashi Miike, D here, I don't know who that is, and the other guys I don't really know who they are. But anyway, guys, so this total weirdo of a character in this film, whoever the actor is, does a good job in this movie. So, and you can see him right there with the mask on, the cat mask and the cat claw. So, his cat dies in the film. I guess he lives by himself with a cat. His cat dies. Instead of burying it like a normal person, he puts the cat in the freezer. He gets an idea. I'm not really sure where he gets this idea. I kind of missed it in the film when I was watching it. But he gets the idea. I'm sure it's based upon the cats have 9 lives. But he decides that if he kills 9 women, I'm not sure why it has to be women, but they kind of talk about that later on in the film, how he's just a sick, perverted, murderous person that has nothing to do with the cat, and maybe there's some substance to that. I don't know, but he decides that if he kills 9 women, that his cat will come back to life somehow or some way. So this is a really weird film, guys. He wears that black cat mask and the cat claw, which is like literally like a Freddy Krueger cat claw, where you can, like, you know, cut someone's throat open or their chest. But one of the worst things is he wears like this, I don't know, it's like a dildo strap on. This thing's got to be like 14, I don't even know how big this thing is. It's like it's a massive cock strap on, but it has like these kind of like spikes on it, like at the end of it, and which he kills somebody with it. And so whenever he breaks into the homes of these women, he's wearing that cat mask with the cat claw, but then he has this giant strap-on dildo that's it's bouncing around as he's strangling women and cutting them with the claw, jumping on their backs, acting like he's a cat. It is so fucking bizarre. And he meets this woman at like this self-help group for people who have lost animals that can't deal with it. And he goes there because he lost his cat. And she lost her cat as well, so they have something in common. And she's hot, by the way. Beautiful breasts. And they end up having sex and start having a relationship together, but somehow she doesn't realize what a freakish individual this guy is. And so that comes to a head at the end of the movie. But yeah, brutal kills, very sadistic, like just gory sexual murders. I mean, some really hard to watch shit, man. And oh god, this girl right here gets killed with that strap on, with her face split open. I mean, I couldn't believe this is probably the most extreme of all the movies that I just showed you guys. But I mean, torching someone's balls with a blowtorch is pretty rough, and the bobby pin in the old penis hole is not easy to watch anywhere. This is just weird and awkward and unsettling. Like, this is but actually this is a good film. It's got like some dream-like sequences. I like the way it's shot. It's oh man, this is a total fucked up movie, man. Let's see if we got some inner art. Yes, we do. I mean, this guy's like jacking off to cat YouTube videos and shit. It is so weird. Unearthed. No, I'm sorry. This is a Wildeye Raw Extreme. All he needs is 9 lives. Cat Sick Blues. Original, unapologetic, and strangely affecting. Yeah, man. It's got the inner art. All right, guys, I went way too long, an hour and 15 minutes. Go out and check out the other channel where I'll be streaming Physical Media Mac Gaming, and say what's up. Possibly what I'm going to do, guys, I've been organizing my Laserdisc collection. Now, I know you guys are not going to want it. Most of you, I'm going to get terrible views on this shit, but I don't care. One of the main reasons I'm going to do this, I'm going to do a shelf by shelf, but it's too hard to do Laserdisc on a shelf. So we'll take all the stuff off the shelf. So loosely shelf by shelf, I know. And I was going to do it in the car, but it's too much to do in a car. Well, we'll do probably a first person on a table in my house. And I'll do like A through D. And then we'll do E through, you know, we'll separate it into letters. Because I think I have like 600 Laserdisc, guys. The collection has grown out of control, and I'm just going to do it alphabetically. Now, one of the main reasons why I'm doing this is I had every single Laserdisc cataloged on Laserdisc database, which a lot of people use for cataloging their movie collections. They're not letting me get back into it. I don't know what it is. It won't let me reset my passwords. So unless I can figure that out, I'm not, and I tried for like hours one day. It just will, there's no reset link. It's like weird. Like it's not, even if you go on the website, I tried it on my phone app, I tried it on the website, I cannot reset it for some reason. It will not allow me. So I don't know if that's a fault in their programming or what. But anyway, I am not going to catalog 600 fucking movies again. So I figured just make a Laserdisc video, 4 or 5 videos, cataloging everything in alphabetical order, and then when I'm out in the wild and I see a movie, I can just click on that video and forward it to the, you know, whatever letter or whatever, and make sure if I have it or not. So, because otherwise, how do I know when I'm out in the wild? All right, guys, that's it. Let's break a window. God dang it. Oh, man. A lot of glass this time. All right, guys, thank you for checking out the video. I'm the PWM, the Physical Media Mac. Good luck out there finding whatever physical media that you're looking for, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Let's keep physical media, Mac. Let's keep physical media alive, guys. Oh, yeah. Peace out, guys.